So next I want to talk a little bit about circles of trust and personalization of search. And these are two trends that are really changing how we're making decisions in travel. And the idea with circles of trust is we're more likely to buy something from somebody we know, buy something at their recommendation, as opposed to the recommendation of a stranger. And why? Because there's more trust. And increasingly, we're seeking out advice and recommendations from our own social networks, our circles of trust. And I'm going to show you that in a second. How many properties here, or actually how many of your personal Facebook accounts are you connected to TripAdvisor? You remember Trip Friends? Did you all say down because you're not a member of Trip Friends? Or you are? Okay, so if you're not, and you work in a hotel business, I really think you should be, because it's phenomenal how it is changing searches. So we're going to go live, and I'm going to show you. So we're on TripAdvisor website right now, and let's say I'm planning a trip to New York City. And here we are. So this is the main page of New York City, and this is what, am I still signed on Facebook? Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And so up just a little bit more. Okay, so this is the top of the page, and what comes up, the first thing that comes up on my search of New York City is my friend activity in New York from Facebook. And right at the top here, we've got John Blown, a friend of mine. He's reviewed Hotel Gansevoort, amazing hotel, amazing staff. And I can click on that and see his whole review. John, he's a cool guy. That could be for me right there. You know, if John likes it, I'll stay there. I can afford it. And then my friend Arjun, who's a food writer, has reviewed a few restaurants in New York. And then below that, it's got these friends have visited New York. And so all my friends who have joined up with Trip Friends and have been to New York, I can send them messages, the ones that I like and think, have good taste, and ask them what they recommend. That is the personalization of search. So Brian mentioned earlier that hoteliers lament the loss of control we have with the online reviews. Everybody's talking about us, and we feel like we have no control over it. And I think that we actually do still have quite a bit of control. We've got a lot of influence on what people are saying about us. And we also have full control over how we respond. And in its basic sense, we can, by managing our reputation and getting involved, we can create a cycle of negativity or a cycle of positivity. And cycle of positivity here, essentially you get reviews, and the feedback is, you have problems with the hotel. And you take it really seriously, and you find money, and you fix it, whether it's a capital upgrade, whether you've got some service issues, so more training and development, more labor, better communication. Anyway, you make improvements. And travelers know that, they notice it, and you get better reviews. And what happens is you get higher on the popularity index, and what does that do? That attracts more guests. And more guests brings you more money, which gives you more money to make more improvements. So this is this perpetual cycle of positivity, which is the way to handle your online reputation and your reviews. The alternative, well, just one point. What's really important as part of that, though, is buy-in at all levels, because you're talking about making improvements to your operation, and that requires the general manager, department head to approve investments in your property. So online reputation management really is a team effort at every level. So the alternative is a cycle of negativity. You get bad reviews, you ignore them, or you don't change anything. You get worse reviews, and that scares people off, and you plummet on the popularity index, and you spiral out of control. And that can be devastating for business. So one of the important components of managing your reputation is monitoring. And there's quite a few tools that you can do that. Essentially, monitoring means listening. Okay? So, how many properties here do you subscribe to TripAdvisor alerts so you get an alert when somebody posts a review? Most of you? Which is great because you want to know when somebody posts a review, and so you can act on it or react on it. And subscribe to social media monitoring tools. So there are also some tools out there now that will scan the internet and collect all mentions of your hotel, whether on TripAdvisor or anywhere else, and deliver it to your desktop and allow you to compare your performance with competitors. So if you're not subscribing to one of these tools, there's a lot of them. I think that's the direction we're going, so I highly recommend that you do. At the same time, there are free tools. Google Alerts does a good job. It's not thorough, but it helps. And things for social media like Social Mention and TweetBeat for Twitter. Most importantly, you want to set goals. Okay, what are your reputation goals? Track and report your progress. And a really great example of this is HK Hotels in New York. And they're a collection of 4 upscale boutique hotels in New York. And actually the VP of marketing spoke at the masterclass in Vegas, New York, right? Yeah. And I've interviewed Adele, and they decided a few years ago that they were going to channel a lot of their marketing funds toward TripAdvisor. And they had 4 properties, and their properties were probably on the popularity index around the 30s or 40s. And they're like, okay, we're going to get up there so that we can channel most of our energy and our funds on making this happen. We're going to rally the whole hotel, and every time we get a review, we're going to share it with everybody and discuss it and listen to our guests and get better and better and better. These hotels today, 4 of them, are the top 5 in TripAdvisor in New York hotels in the popularity index. It's phenomenal. And this is New York, where the hotels are amazing in New York. But they have just mastered this reputation management. And if you're interested, I've actually interviewed an interview of Adele on what her secrets are. I asked her if she paid off TripAdvisor, but apparently not. It's on my website if you want to check it out. Apparently she did it through good old-fashioned hospitality. Who would have known? So respond. I want to talk a little bit about responding, and Brian touched on this as well. And people ask me a lot about how to respond, who to respond, who should respond, when to respond. So we're going to touch on that quickly. Which reviews should you respond to? This is my opinion. I'm an independent consultant. Everybody may feel differently about it, but this is what I find the most effective. Most negative reviews and occasional positive reviews. Neutral reviews that are good and bad, usually no, but it all depends on what they're saying. Now, some hotels respond to every positive review, and that's commendable, but it also can get a bit tiresome to see the same response from the manager over and over, and it's hard to come up with an original one, so it looks like a canned response. And travelers they're going to TripAdvisor to review, to look for opinions from other travelers, not a bunch of corporate mumbo-jumbo from hotels. So when we do participate, we want to respect that. And so I feel that with positive reviews, respond occasionally because it shows that you're actually listening. And a lot of people say things that are really special or something that you really want to highlight that you offer above the competition. And when you respond to it and thank them, it draws more attention to it. So who should respond?